What's up, guys? This week we are going to be reviewing Fireguard. I was surprised at how many people requested Fireguard, and I will tell you that although he is not in the top 5 guards in the game, he is definitely one of the best competitive guards in the game. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about this guy, but first I want to talk about his type. His body type is Fire, and that is one of the, it's one of the top body types, and it's kind of ignored a lot. It takes double damage from only one type of skill, and that's water. Like, no top tier guard uses water in its attack lineup. And basically, the guards that use water are a lot of the mid tier guards, like, Water Dragon, Princess, people like that. But it takes half damage from 3 types of moves: electricity, dark, and fire. Because, your own body type is resistant to its own type of move. So it takes half damage from 3 different types of skills, and double damage from only 1 type of skill. So that's very good. It's really underrated. A lot of people overlook it. So let's get on with the different guard builds. The first one I want to show you is for Suri and the Beast Planes. Back like a month ago, when I was on my hiatus, I used Fire Dragon for Suri, and that didn't go over too well. I only beat him twice. But then when I started playing again, I got the credits and I bought the power of Fireguard, and I got 12 teeth. Like, Fireguard's the best person to use, and as you see here, pretty much 170 defense, and some intelligence. You can go 100. People say it works at 80, but in the higher levels, you want to use 2 Hellfires. So I use 115 for the extra insurance, and then rest on to M attack, and that will beat Suri. The highest I've beaten of Suri is like level 63. So yeah, this Fireguard build is Orlando's build. Orlando is probably the #1 player in Australia. He's really, really good. He comes up with crazy builds. This is a Fireguard. He had 2 of these in his team. He had one in the front and one in the back. Just 80 defense, 80 intelligence, 180 M defense, and rest onto M attack. The 80 defense is to make sure that you survive a super punch from Arexa. The 80 intelligence is to make it all around. It's not just for beating Izine, but the Hellfires can take out Blade Masters, different types of guards. The 180 M defense is to make sure you survive 2 judgments from an Izine. The worst possible scenario is that Izine is going to use 2 judgments, so when making a guard, you have to prepare for the worst possible scenario. If you're a lower level, then you may want to go like 200 M defense just for the extra security, but for the most part, that should be enough. And oh yeah, also for Fireguard, always use Assault. You never want to use Endurance, because you don't want to turtle with Fireguard. You want to be up in their face, and you want that first attack. So always use Assault with him. And this guy tears through Izine as well as other guards. So this is a very well balanced Fireguard. My personal favorite build uses speed. Oh, Shane, you're using speed with Assault. Blasphemy. No. This guy double attacks Izine's, it double attacks anything that isn't a speed guard, pretty much. If it has base speed, it will double attack it about 80% of the time. I put defense to 65 because of my level. At my level, Super Punch does like a maximum of like 600 damage, depending on the Rexley attacking. And so 65 defense is what works for me. If you're lower level, bump it up to like 75, 80. All that good stuff. 180 M defense, I already explained. Now speed I want to touch on. Why is it 111 and not 100? I'll tell you. Back in the day, I think it was Jay or Sinner, it was one or the other. They would always test against me because they viewed me as like a very good player in the game. And at the time I had a Dogia, and it had 400 attack, 100 defense, 100 M defense, and 100 speed. It was like a solid build for a fight guard. And I had 1 point left over, and I didn't want to spend it because I had 400 attack. It was like 400, 100, 100, 100, and it looked awesome. So I didn't spend the point. And, Jay or Sinner, one or the other, they would test against me, and, they say, hey, I can beat you like half of the time. Then I gained a level, and I put the 11 points into speed, and they're like, dude, I cannot beat you anymore. I don't know what's up with this, but you're beating me every time. Those extra points in the speed must have helped. So then I've always lived by either base speed, 111 speed, or 600 plus speed. But yeah, this thing, it will double attack an Assault Izine and just wreck its day. And I mean, of course, if the assault one attacks first, then this is going to attack twice. Otherwise, you know, I'm going to attack first, they're going to attack, then I'm going to attack and finish them off. Endurance Izine, like this crushes Endurance Izine as well. It's going to, like, because you have assault, you're going to attack first, then it's going to, like, take them down, and then, or take them down to, like, under half their hit points, then they are going to attack you, and because of your M defense, you know, you'll well survive the hit. And you can afford to take another, but in the best possible situation, after they hit you for the first time, you are going to attack them twice and finish them off, because your second attack is going to put them at 1 because they have the endurance, and then, you know, your speed is just going to make you attack them again and just finish them off. So this is why I like this build of Fireguard. I think it's the best. You can try whatever one you want, but I don't think this is going to work for lower levels, because like, if you're a level 50 or something like that, you can put the defense, the M defense, and the speed, but you're only going to have like 300 M attack, and that's not going to be enough to finish off an Izine. So you should probably try this one out. Like I said, this is like the all-around PvP Fireguard build. It's pretty good. I want to talk about the competitiveness of Fireguard as well. The reason why he isn't in the top 5 is because he loses against a lot of, like, Dark Guards pretty much, and like Dark Guards are everywhere. It's a bad matchup for him. He can beat some Dark Guards, like he can beat Outcast and Dark Wizard. It just depends on how many air bombs they use, because air bombs is their special, but their basic moves are electric and dark, and fire's resistant to both of them. So it's just a battle of, you know, M defense and M attack, and, you know, if you have speed for the double attack, then yeah, you'll win. But against, like, you know, a Wicked or something, he just doesn't stand his own. He'll get crushed. And another thing, why he is so competitive in the environment, the main reason is because, well, this was a thing that we were talking about in our clan chat for a while. We were like, what guard can beat Fireguard but isn't an auto lose against Izine? Because people put Izines in Fireguards and they, like, mix it up. And we're like, well, we can't use a Dark Guard, because although a Dark Guard is going to beat Fireguard, it's going to auto lose to Izine. And we can't use a Water Guard, because even though a Water Guard beats Fireguard, like, it deals double damage, Izine has an electric move. So we were kind of in a bundle. Like, we didn't really know what to do. It was a complicated situation. There was no guard which was like a normal type, which had like both basic dark and water moves. So we just stuck with like a Rexa with 200 M defense, and we just had to noob it up. So yeah, that's why Fireguard is so good, because with Izine in the format now, it's hard to find a counter that works with, you know, that is going to beat both of these in the same team. And, you know, if you put the 200 M defense into Rexa, it's not going to have other stats to be well-rounded. So yeah, that's like why it's so difficult to make something work against that. Let's see what else I have here. That seems like it's it for the review of Fireguard. I will go over the builds again. You have my kind of build. I like this build the best. You have Orlando's build, the all-around PvP one. It's really good. And you have the build that beats Suri in the Beast Plains. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Fireguard. As always, post the guard that you want to see next in the review. I have a couple things I want to touch base on. A lot of people have been saying, like, review Blade Master or like Wicked or something, but that's gonna be a lame review, because there's only one way to build them, unless Rita changes something in the game. I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, but I did email them and they say that that's their plan. Like, what my suggestion was already in their plans there. That's what they said. I mean, who knows? But if that does happen, then you're gonna have 2 builds for speed guards, and I would be glad to show you those. Also, the other thing I wanted to say is that it was going to be Thor. Like, this review was going to be Thor, but somebody posted Thor like 6 times in a row, and that kind of killed it for me. Like, please only post once, and please only post one guard. There's people who post, like, you know, Fireguard / Wicked. Okay, well, I'm going to take out Wicked because, you know, can't really do a guard review on him. It's going to be really lame. So, you know, I just pick the best one, I guess, but just please only post once and only post one guard per guard review video in the comments below. So choose what's going to be the fourth one. Right now, I mean, oh yeah, there's another thing I want to say. Some people say like review Dread or review Nefarious. I'm not sure if they're trying to troll me or if they're being serious. But yeah, I mean, if I don't think a guard is, you know, really good, then, or really worth using, then I don't think I want to review it. But if the people demand it, then I'll do it. So once again, thank you for watching, and as always, have a nice day, guys.